Good morning and Merry Christmas. Let me do a little bit of housekeeping first. I've been meaning to do this for the past couple of days and I keep forgetting. I don't remember till I've completed the video, and I've thought of going back on and doing an add-on, but even though I did a second video yesterday, it wasn't the add-on for this. The two cards that I received a couple of days ago that I did mention, one from Ohio and one from Holland, I can't find either of those people on any of the messages or emails. The one lady, Nancy from Ohio, said that she was the lady that emailed me about the bars across the window. And I've looked for that email. I cannot find it. I do not know how to send a thank you back to her. But I acknowledge receiving it. It's a beautiful card. Here's the envelope and the card with a beautiful note in it. And the other lady from Holland, Marge, she sent me this beautiful picture from Rosalind Chapel in Edinburgh, Scotland. And it's the angel holding the heart. And it's a beautiful letter that she also sent to me. And I acknowledge both of these wonderful, wonderful gifts, and they both had personal letters in them, which is why I wanted to acknowledge them by email and writing to the individual people. But I can't locate either of them on Facebook or YouTube or in my email files. So let this be an acknowledgement, and I do ask each of you, if you're watching this, to email me again freshly so that I would have your contact information and can send you a personal note of thanks and appreciation. I needed to clear that out because, as I said, I've been forgetting it the past couple of days. The title that I've selected for this morning, well, I'm just going to read it. What's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine too. My blurb. What kind of Christmas Day message is this? And who would make such a statement? Those that have wanted to rule the world have been thinking in that manner for a very long time, generations dating back to antiquity. They have run roughshod over the entire planet with impunity. It's truly the beast. Previously, most of us were too ignorant to even think outside the box. We thought, that's the way it is, and there's nothing I can do about it. No more. The divine is awakening within us, ready to be born. Each must ask the question, do I have room in my inn for the Christ child? After I did the two videos yesterday, and there were lots of wonderful comments, by the way, on my poem, and for those that ask that English is not their first language, that would like to see it in writing, I have not put that one up, and I've not put most of my poetry up online. I mean, I've written 300-400 poems, and there probably aren't more than, I don't know, 30 or 40 poems perhaps in my Ron's poems on my website. I need to, I suppose, get some more poetry up. But a lot of my poetry I wrote before I had a computer, before I had a typewriter. Well, I had a typewriter, but before I had the computer. So they weren't stored as files. They were just either handwritten, or in some cases where I put them into books, they were typewritten. I put a couple of collections of poetry together besides Living Gods Are Hard to Find, I Am a Man, and Inside Out and Upside Down were two of the titles that and The Prince and the Princess, Mystery of Destiny was another collection of my poetry, but the only one that I actually got printed was Living Gods Are Hard to Find. I mean, I put the others together in like a manuscript form, but there are no copies of them except my own, and a lot of them have been scattered and the pages have been disheveled. And I didn't mean to have this aside. I wasn't even thinking about that earlier, but it must be that it's needed. In any case, after I did the videos yesterday, someone sent me a video by Amy Grant called Breath of Heaven, and it's a YouTube video, and I shared it on my Facebook page, and I wrote this heading about it, which got a lot of comments, and I'm going to read it. Just consider the cosmic implications. We, humanity, are giving birth to the divine in form, the formless becoming flesh. Is that not what this season is all about? Not just Jesus. He was merely the way shower, the firstborn of many brothers and sisters in the awakening. Don't let the fundamentalists steal the meaning. It is for all of us, regardless of our religions, nationalities, and races. We are all cut from the same cosmic fabric that is the creator of all that is. We are all birthed from the waters of the mother of life. We are the new humanity that get to manifest the kingdom of heaven on earth. The birth pangs are happening now. A lot of people liked that comment, and I do too. And yes, I wrote it. This is the Christmas story that we missed. Christians for generations have isolated it as a point in time and failed in the very significance of what it was about. Nothing that I've read says it better than the Lord's Prayer to me, what the mission of Christ becoming flesh was all about. As Jesus prayed in the garden, and the Lord's Prayer isn't, Our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. I'm not talking about that Lord's Prayer. I'm talking about the one in the 17th chapter of John, where he says, Father, that they all may be one in us, as I am in you and you are in me, that they all may be one in us, that the world may know that you sent me. The Father sent us all, you see. Incarnation is not something that happened once. It's something that happens every day, multiple times, thousands of times over. Every time a new child is born, the divine is becoming flesh. It wasn't something that happened once in history. The myth is much bigger than that. The meaning is much bigger than that. The allegory is much, much stronger than just one person. As Jesus said, if it was just me, the world couldn't be blessed. But I have to die so that being planted, I can sprout up and bring forth many brothers and sisters. I can bless the whole world. And it was that knowledge that came in that was signified on Christmas Day. It's what Christmas is all about. And yet we have people that forgot that that was about what it was about. And they go around the world saying, what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine too. And in our ignorance, we allow the world to steal our birthright, to steal our natural inheritance, to steal that which is ours by divine right, by natural law. We allow it to be stolen from us, and we live as slaves in servitude, asking for permission from the beast, which steals all that is ours until we stop it and say, no more. It's time. This is the time for humanity to awaken. This is the time for the Christmas message to come home to each one of us. We need to stand up to the beast and to the Antichrist, to the false prophet that teaches separation and teaches what's mine is mine and what's yours is mine too. No, it's not. Each of us have a divine responsibility to stand in our own power, to stand in the truth of who we are. We are children of the living God. Some of us are growing up. Some of us are finally becoming at least young adults, testing our wings, learning how to fly again as divine beings in a physical body. This is what needs to come home to me. It's the message that I'm getting as I'm contemplating what the court and what the lawyers are doing to me, what the bankers are trying to do to me and stealing my property. Am I willing? I mean, I've looked at all the options. The writ of mandamus with addendums is probably the way that I'm going to go, but so far I haven't actually put it on paper. I've composed it in my head, but I haven't put it down yet on paper, and I haven't served it. And when it gets served, it's going to be served far and wide, not just to the courts, the local court, the district court, and not just the appeal court, but to the Supreme Court of Florida, the Supreme Court of the United States, the governor of Florida and the executive branch of the government in Florida. It's going to be distributed to the sheriff of the county that I live in, and perhaps the chief of police although I don't actually live in an incorporated area, I only live in the county, not in the city of Melbourne. But in any case, it needs to be delivered to the news media and to people, and I will be putting it up online. That will definitely go online when I finally get around to doing it. I've been procrastinating really bad about that. But I need to stand in my power. I need to be willing, and a writ of mandamus is a decree. It's not asking the court for something, it's commanding the court. And it's time. I shake in my boots, even when I don't have my boots on, because I've been so accustomed to living in this world, in this system, and thinking of they have the power, I don't. It's even a challenge for me to take that step forward and say to them, no more. Now, I have basically said that in some of my other writs that I've done, some of my affidavits that I have filed. With much grace, I have issued commands. I actually issued my final sovereign judgment on the 28th of May in 2010. And a week later, the judge removed the case from the docket and called it a continuance. And as I said a couple of days ago, as it was revealed to me, when they remove something from the docket, there's only two things that can happen. Either it's sealed or dismissed. Those are the only two options in law. Once it's taken off the books, but it was left on the book. It was revived 10 months later by the bank's lawyer. And how they allowed her to revive that, I don't know. I thought it was over way back. But they still think that what's theirs is theirs, and what's mine is also theirs. And folks, we need to say no. The Christmas message means I am a child of God. I have natural rights, and I'm not going to let you arbitrarily take those rights away. Now, can they kill me? Can they physically maul me and assault me and remove me from my own home? Probably they have that ability. And there are probably sick enough people that would want to do that. But I will not just simply stand back and say, okay, if you want my house, just take it. Because it's my right to keep a roof over my head, to be secure in my own person and property. It's my right. It's recognized in the Constitution, in the Magna Carta, in many constitutions, in fact. The Constitution of the state of Florida as well as the United States. These are natural rights, folks. And it's time on this Christmas day to make room in our hearts, the in that's in us, that's in each of us, to make room for that divine being, that spiritual warrior that stands up and establishes the kingdom of heaven on earth. Because that's our mission. That's our calling. We are the ones we've been waiting for. Somebody asked, okay, I'll bite. What is a covenant? A covenant is an agreement between equals. And when God made a covenant with man, or with Israel, or with the church, or with whomever God is seen to be making a covenant, it's with equals. God is seeing us as equals. Disequals. I cannot make a covenant with an animal because the animal doesn't understand the covenant. And in a sense, God making a covenant with us, we didn't understand it for a long time either. We didn't get it. But we have the capacity within us to get it. Perhaps animals have capacity to get it too. I don't know. But a covenant, an agreement, a contract, if you will, is where two parties have something to offer. And it's called consideration. Each is giving something to the other. And God made a covenant with us and made many promises through prophets and seers, through men and women who spoke truth throughout the ages. God promised us a city that has foundations that we call the kingdom of heaven on earth. God promised us that. This is the day, Christmas Day, 2011. This is the day that we can start accepting Christ to be born in us as us. Not a separate being, but us. We are one. That is the Lord's Prayer. Father, that they all may be one in us, as I am one in you, and you are in me, that they all may be one in us, that the world may know that you sent me. It's time to say no to the world that makes the incredulous statement, what's mine is mine, and what's yours is mine too. These that have thought like this, with this mindset, have felt that rulership was theirs by divine right. That's why they maintain their bloodlines so meticulously. It's why they have their secret societies, because they have seen themselves as rulers, and they have been allowed to rule on this earth for many generations, at least thousands of years. But their time is up, their job is completed, their mission is done, because the people are finally in a position where we can accept our end of the covenant and step into our power and authority as divine beings in our own right, as Jesus was our firstborn, as the Buddha, as Muhammad and all the prophets were speaking in times past. All of that is culminating today, now. This is the Christmas message. If you can hear it, if you can understand what I'm saying to you, if you can let the Spirit of God open your own heart and mind to the truth. Namaste.